Every night, the loyal German shepherd curled up beside the baby's crib, his watchful eyes never straying. The family thought it was just devotion, until one night, the hidden camera revealed something no one expected. What the dog did in the dead of night shocked the parents and left millions speechless. From the very first night they brought their newborn son home, the family noticed something unusual. Their German shepherd, Max, refused to leave the baby's side. At first, they thought it was curiosity. He would sniff the blankets, wag his tail softly, then settle down on the floor near the crib. But when the lights went out, instead of retreating to his own bed, Max curled up against the crib as though standing guard. His ears twitched at every sound, his eyes fixed on the baby's gentle breathing. The parents found it heartwarming. Friends and relatives who visited marveled at the shepherd's devotion, calling him the baby's guardian angel. The baby, too, seemed comforted by Max's presence, often falling asleep faster when the dog was close. Over time, the family stopped questioning it. They assumed it was just loyalty, the instinct of a dog protecting his smallest family member. But there was something deeper in Max's gaze, something almost human in the way he never let down his guard. No one imagined this nightly habit would one day reveal a truth far more shocking than simple devotion. And no matter how late the hour, no matter how peaceful the night seemed, he planted himself beside the crib as if his very life depended on it. The parents began to whisper about it after the baby was asleep. Why was Max so insistent? He didn't relax the way most dogs would. He was always alert, ears pricked, eyes sharp, as though waiting for something none of them could see. It was endearing, yes, but also puzzling and a little unsettling that he tried calling Max into the living room with treats, shaking the bag to get his attention. Normally, Max never refused food. But that night, he only glanced at the treat, then returned his gaze to the crib, tail thumping lightly against the floor as if to say, "Not tonight." The mother noticed how his muscles stiffened at every creak in the house, how his head turned sharply toward the door whenever the wind rattled the windows. It was more than loyalty, it was vigilance. The question now pressed heavily on their minds. What exactly was Max guarding against? If Max's unusual behavior carried a reason, they wanted to know. One afternoon, while the baby napped peacefully, the father installed a small camera in the nursery. It was tucked discreetly into a corner shelf, angled perfectly to capture the crib, the rocking chair, and Max's usual spot on the floor. The mother laughed nervously, half expecting they'd discover nothing more than a loyal dog refusing to give up his post. Still, a quiet tension filled the room as they waited for nightfall. That evening, bedtime came as always. The baby was laid gently into the crib, swaddled snugly, while Max padded into the room and curled up beside him. The parents whispered goodnight and switched off the light, though this time their anticipation kept them wide awake. Downstairs, they opened the live feed from the camera on a laptop, watching Max's silhouette stretch across the carpet. The baby stirred, cooed softly, and fell back to sleep. Everything seemed ordinary, yet both parents felt an odd chill of suspense. Something told them that the camera would reveal more than they had bargained for. The house settled into silence as midnight approached. On the camera feed, Max shifted restlessly beside the crib. Normally, he would lay his head down and drift to sleep, but tonight something was different. His ears flicked at every creak, his eyes scanned the room, and his tail twitched nervously. He paced once around the crib, nose brushing against the baby's blanket as though reassuring himself the child was safe. The baby stirred slightly, blinking up at Max before sighing back into sleep. But Max didn't relax. Instead, he lifted his head sharply, gaze locked toward the dark hallway just beyond the nursery door. His chest rose and fell in rapid rhythm, a low rumble building in his throat. The parents, watching from the laptop downstairs, exchanged a startled glance. This wasn't casual alertness, this was defense mode. Their loyal companion wasn't just keeping watch. He had sensed something. And whatever it was close, creeping into the quiet of their home. Suddenly, Max sprang to his feet. His bark was sharp and low, the kind of sound that made the hair on the back of the neck rise. On the camera feed, the parents watched in frozen disbelief as he circled the crib, positioning himself squarely between the baby and the nursery door. His eyes burned into the hallway shadows, his growls rising in intensity. Then it happened. a faint movement at the edge of the frame. The doorknob trembled. Someone, or something, was trying to enter. The parents gasped, their hands clapping over their mouths in horror. The door creaked open just an inch, and Max exploded forward, his bark echoing like thunder through the house. The baby jolted awake, crying, but Max didn't budge from his stance. The camera captured a shadow retreating down the hallway, vanishing into the darkness. The parents bolted upstairs, their hearts pounding, only to find Max still bristling, teeth bared, staring at the half-open door. There was no mistaking it. Someone had been inside their home, and Max had driven them away. What they thought was simple devotion had been vigilance against a danger lurking in the night. The intruder's shadow darted across the hallway, but Max was faster. With a furious bark, he lunged through the doorway, nails scraping against the hardwood floor as he gave chase. The parents, only seconds behind, caught a glimpse of a dark figure stumbling toward the back door, clearly startled by the shepherd's ferocity. Max's growls filled the house, each one louder than the last, his body a blur of muscle and fury. The camera upstairs continued recording, capturing the chaos as it unfolded in real time. Their loyal dog was no longer just guarding. He was hunting. The figure yanked at the back door, fumbling in panic, but Max lunged, snapping his jaws close enough to graze the intruder's sleeve. The man screamed, shoving the door open and vanishing into the night, leaving it swinging violently behind him. Max stood in the doorway, chest heaving, barking into the darkness until silence fell again. When the parents finally reached him, he turned back toward them, his eyes still blazing, but his body pressed close as though asking for reassurance. That night, their camera didn't just capture a mystery. It recorded their dog saving their child from an unimaginable threat. The house was quiet again, but the parents' hearts were still racing. They scooped up their crying baby, rocking him gently while Max paced the room, still on edge. When they finally sat down to review the footage, their hands trembled. Frame by frame, they saw the truth unfold. The creeping shadow, the turning doorknob, and Max's explosive defense. Their loyal shepherd hadn't just been guarding a crib. He had been protecting them all. Tears welled in the mother's eyes as she hugged Max tightly, whispering words of gratitude he didn't need to understand. The father stroked his fur, calling him their guardian angel. News of the incident spread quickly among family and friends, who marveled at the dog's instincts and courage. For the parents, the emotions were overwhelming: fear, relief, and unshakable gratitude. They realized that without Max, the night could have ended in tragedy. Instead, it ended with love and loyalty proven beyond doubt. In the days that followed, Max became more than just the family's pet. He became their hero. The baby slept soundly with Max faithfully beside him, and the parents no longer questioned his devotion. They knew now that his nightly watch was more than instinct. It was destiny. For them, the footage was proof that sometimes angels walk on four paws. Their German Shepherd had risked everything to protect the most vulnerable member of their family. If this story touched your heart, the narrator concludes, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful tales of loyalty and courage.